Hello viewers, welcome to the channel Amazing Civil Engineering Studies. In today's video we are going to discuss about what if concrete cube fails in test after 28 days. What next if concrete cube fails in test after 28 days? Such a situation arises many times on the construction site. So, what to do if the cube test fails? There are many repair and rehabilitation options if the concrete cube fails in the test. Concrete cube compressive strength. The concrete cube test provides details about all the characteristics strengths of concrete. From the result of this cube test, we can judge whether concreting has been done properly or not. The strength of concrete for general construction varies according to the grade of concrete from 15 MPa, 2200 psi, to 30 MPa, 4400 psi, and higher in commercial and industrial structures. Compressive strength definition. Compressive strength is the ability of material, concrete, or structure to carry the loads on its surface without any crack or deflection. Compressive strength test of concrete cubes. For checking the compressive strength of concrete, two types of specimen samples are used. Cube sample size 15 cm times 15 cm times 15 cm or 10 cm times 10 cm times 10 cm depending upon the size of aggregate are used. Generally, we used molds of size 15 cm times 15 cm times 15 cm. Sample preparation. During concreting work, random concrete sample is poured into the mold and tempered properly so as not to have any voids. On the next day, concrete from these molds is released and test specimens are put in water for curing. For the cube test, it is essential to make the top surface of this specimen should even and smooth. It should be done by putting cement paste and spreading smoothly on the whole area of the specimen. Concrete cube fails in test. Testing of cube samples. Concrete cube samples area tested on compression testing machine after 7 days curing or 28 days curing. The application load is gradual at the rate of 140 kg cm2 per minute till the specimens fails. The compressive strength of the concrete cube is the load applied at the point of failure to the cross-section area of the face on which the load was applied. Compressive strength of concrete can be calculated from the following equation for 15 cm times 15 cm times 15 cm. Compressive strength equals load at failure in machine, N, C/S area of cube, mm superscript 2. Strength of concrete at various ages. It is a known fact that concrete strength increases with age. Below shows the strength of concrete at different ages in comparison with the strength at 28 days after casting. Concrete cube test results 28 days. 7-day concrete cube test results. 3days concrete cube strength. Concrete strength of cube at 7 and 28 days test. What to do if cube test fails in test after 28 days? The first reaction is prevention is better than cure. The failure of the cube test depends upon the various aspect. Even the way it has been tested is also important. The sampling for the cube is also very important. The failure result of a concrete cube is a serious issue. You need to analyze why the cubes have failed. By finding out a proper reason for failure, we may avoid further reoccurrences of the same. Concrete cube fails in test after 28 days. When we are doing concreting on site and collecting samples for the test, there are 4 possible combinations behind concrete cube fails in test as listed below. It may be, concrete is strong, cube is also strong. It may be, concrete is weak, cube is also weak. It may be, concrete is strong, but cube is weak. Generally, we focus on the first 2 possibilities while analyzing cube test results. The third and fourth possibilities are generally being neglected. The third option does not harm the structure. But option 4, well, it is better to be optimistic in such situations. While you get reports showing that the 28th day cube tests are failed, remember that it is something serious. This test result of the 28th day cannot be treated just like in the case of the 7th day test failure. As we know, we must attain 99% strength on the 28th day cube test result, and tests are considered as the deciding criterion for acceptance of the concrete. Before considering that our 28th day cube test is failed or pass and going deep into our scenario of cube failure, let us quickly see how the cube results are generally interpreted as per IS code. There are 2 conditions are to be met for accepting a concrete after cube test as per IS 456-2000 CL 16.1. For concrete of grade M20 and above, the average strength of a group of 4 consecutive test results should not be less than the greater of F. CK 20 plus 4N/mm2 or F. CK plus 0.825 S, where S is the standard deviation established. Individual cube strength should not be less than F. CK 4N/mm2. Let us analyze this with an example. If 28th day's concrete cube test results fail, check if the result of all 7 days cubes is the same. If even one passes the acceptable criteria, you are sure that the concrete mix is okay. Now the question of workmanship. Even if one of the cubes is okay, wait for a 28-day result. If 28 days result fails, then again there is a possibility that cubes are not filled properly or they were not cured properly in the first 7 days. But it is possible that slab concrete is okay. Go for the hammer test. If the hammer test is also as per failed cube result, then go for core cutter and test it to get actual strength of laid concrete. Take this core cutter result to consultant and he will make a decision whether he can retain the concrete with rectification like grouting and all. If not, then whether he can find ways to strengthen the slab. If not, then he has to get the slab recast. We must consider following before any decision is taken by site engineer on discarding concrete. Whether cubes filled by a train supervisor. Whether the strength is unacceptable as per the acceptable formula. If so, whether they satisfy the designer with corrective methods as suggested and NDT test results received from labs. Still doubtful, go for loading test. In many cases, I have experienced horrible results by few labs, but the site engineer should have his own judgment about the place of concrete where failed and taking risks. The contractor shall always happy if reduced rates are paid for such works, but always note any failures needs your pre-action reports as suggested above, and that only a site person can decide to discard concrete. Concrete cube failure reason. The following are the major reasons behind concrete cube failure. Wrong mix poured. The concrete mix prepared is not as per the approved mix design for that particular strength. Wrong mix design. There is a mistake in concrete mix design. It is not properly designed and strength is not properly calculated. Improper sample collection. Sometimes concrete sample for cube test is not collected by a skilled worker, or it may not checked by a technical person on site. So, there may be possibilities that the collected concrete sample is not truly representing the fresh concrete supplied at site. Improper cube preparation. The concrete cure must be prepared as per the guidelines given in IS 516. Compressive strength of concrete cube might be affected by several errors during cube casting, such as improper alignment of cube mold, which is resulting in distorted cube shape. Improper inadequate tamping. Improper tamping result in voids formation in cube sample. Improper filling of the molds. This may result in weak zone in concrete, leaving only mortar without aggregate. Inadequate curing of the cube samples. The curing of concrete cube must be as per the guidelines given in IS 516. Once concrete cube prepared, the cubes must be covered with wet gunny bags for a least period of 2-4 HRS from the time when water is first added to the concrete. Then after removed concrete cube from molds and kept under clean water until the time of test. Make sure temperature of curing between 24 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. Testing wrong samples. Properly identify the cube preparation marking on cube. Sometime wrong cube sample test. Errors during testing. This include improper placing of molds over the CTM, cleaning the surface, seating the cube properly, rate of load application, etc. Errors with the testing apparatus. This may include the errors with reading display, loading or hydraulic systems, or a manual error in reading and interpreting the displayed value. Unauthorized water-cement ratio correction of the mix. Sometime for making concrete easily pieceable, labor add extra water without consulting technical person on site. Change in quality of materials. Sometimes quality of concrete materials used for preparing the concrete mix on site may be different from those used while preparing the trial mix. Batching plant error. There may be possibility of batching plant error, wrong materials quantity added in mix, due to any mechanical software error, which went unnoticed. What to do if we do not want to dismantle the concrete member? There are many options to strengthen a weak concrete member if concrete cube fails in test. Providing steel casing. Providing steel casing around the structure, especially columns, to make it a composite member to improve its structural performance. Providing steel stiffeners. Providing steel stiffeners on the sides of the member to increase its load carrying capacity. The steel stiffeners are may bolted or epoxy bonded to the concrete member. Providing fiber reinforced polymer, FRP, sheet bonding. Reinforced polymer, FRP, sheet basically with glass fiber GFRP or carbon fiber and lesser thickness are wrapped around the surface of the concrete member and bonded with epoxy adhesive. So, concrete structural behavior is improved. Sprayed concrete shotcreting. Sprayed concrete shotcrete can be done by drilling reinforcement around the periphery of the member, and shotcreting is done on the surface of the member to increase its cross-section to modify the structural performance. Attaching pre-tensioned cables to the concrete members. Attaching pre-tensioned cables to the concrete member method is not so commonly used. In this method, we induce the effect of the pre-stressed member into the existing member. Concrete jacketing. The concrete jacketing involves covering the structural member at any or all sides with skillfully placed reinforced concrete. In this method, Reinforcement is welded to the existing reinforcement to impart proper bonding of the jacket to the existing member. Concrete jacketing increases the cross-section area of the member and thereby improving its structural performance. Conclusion. From the above solution option, 6 would seem to be the easiest one to overcome the situation of concrete cube fails in test, but there are several impediments with this method, like disposal of debris, the practical difficulty in demolition without damaging other members. There is also the risks of the safety of the workman, practical difficulty in shuttering and casting new member in the original position, quality control, etc. are a few hurdles to mention with this option. Thanks for watching. For now, please subscribe, like, share and do not forget to press bell icon.